All right. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this live broadcast. It's Thursday, and it's PTM Hangout. All right. So good evening, everyone. My name is Mary Beth Chima. I don't know. My voice has that crack to it, right? I have been talking a lot in the last in the last couple of days. Right. So good evening, everyone. My name is Mary Beth Chima. I am the convener of the parenting group, Parenting Through Mentorship on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. You'll find us in these places, and I am streaming live from Abuja, the capital city of Nigeria. Are you with me? Are you in the house with me? Please let me know where you are watching me from, if you are here with me. Please don't stay in the background. We like it when you speak with us. We like it when you talk to us. Just say hello and let us know where you're watching. You can do another thing, okay, an extra thing. You can just click on the link and allow us gain access, or allow StreamYard gain access to your name, so that when you type a comment, we will see who is typing the comments, and we'll see who has typed the comments rather. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to this live broadcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's nice to have you here. Hey, the PTM conference just ended. Were you a part of that conference? Did you participate in that conference? Woo! Amazing, amazing stuff went on in that conference. Okay, so let us know. Okay, this is me coming to say thank you, as a matter of fact. So this is me coming to say thank you for all those who were part of the conference, beginning from the speakers, right? The speakers and all those who participated. It was an amazing, amazing experience. And when I chat with people, okay, I still chat with individuals, and they tell me how they were blessed by that conference. All right. So at the end of the conference, we actually didn't leave it there. The conference didn't mark the end of this season. Usually in the group, right, in the group or in the community, May is usually a very busy month for us, because we have a couple of things that we do in the month of May. All right, so the conference is one of them. So this year we decided that apart from the conference, we're going to take the message of the conference, because the message of the conference this year is very, very, very strong. Okay, so it's baby steps to purpose. So we decided that we were going to carry that message even to Children's Day. Okay, so we decided to do a Children's Day campaign where we decided that we're going to give out 300 copies of my book, Bedtime Stories for Champions, a book that I wrote last year. Amazing, amazing resource that has blessed a lot of children and a lot of parents, a lot of families have sent testimonials of how bedtime story has been a blessing in their homes, right? It's been a reason why their children are beginning to think outside the box, beginning to think of what value they can add to the world, right? The children are beginning to think differently, and then it has become a tool for them to spark conversations in their home. So we decided that, it's not enough that one or two children, children from parents who can afford this, or parents who understand what it means for their children to read books. It's not enough for just this group of children to have the books. So we wanted to take the book to children from families that their parents don't think, buying extra books is important, or don't even know about bedtime stories. So we wanted to take it to children from low-income families, right? And then children that are not opportune to be in communities, that their parents are not opportune to be in communities like this. And then to orphanages too, where we can have the older kids read to the younger kids. So yes, we started that campaign, or we started going out yesterday, the outreach yesterday. And yesterday we went to 2 schools. It was, oh God, I can't even explain to you how fulfilling or how rewarding those outings were. We recorded. It was a lot of fun. It was fun. The children were happy. Then we took some things for them to celebrate with them. We took snacks and drinks, and cookie and what they candies and all of that, just so we can celebrate with the children and they can feel special, on Children's Day. It was an amazing, a great experience. So we want to say thank you to all those who supported us, right? We want to say thank you to those who supported us, okay, whatever way, little, small, big, okay. So thank you very much for all those who have supported us. We still have the orphanages to visit tomorrow and on Saturday. So yes, you can still support us if you want to. You can still support us. I sent out a post a day or so ago, and I said, if you live in Abuja and you have those bags of clothes that you've kept for a while, saying you want to take them to an orphanage and you've not had the time to do that. If you still want to do that and you want us to do it for you, you can just send those things to us. Okay, you can just send those clothes to us. You can just dispatch them to us, and we will take them to the orphanages and bring back reports to you. What is important to us is that we put smiles on the face of some children this season. Okay, Children's Day is today, but we can still bless these children tomorrow, Friday, and then on Saturday. So that's the plan. So if you still want to contribute, there'll be a link at the end of this or somewhere in this post after this session, and you can just click on the link and make your donation. Or if you want to donate offline, you can donate to our Zenith account. Okay, you can do that. And if you want to send your clothes, just send me a message. You want to send me old clothes. That's what I'm talking about. Old clothes that your kids don't wear anymore. Old clothes, toys, and things like that. Please just send us a message. The number is always available, but we'll add it to this post so that you can just send that to us, and we will make sure they get to people who need them. All right, so thank you very much again. And then this is a season of purpose. Okay, have you seen our book? Have you seen the new book? Okay, I've just written a new book, right? Mentor Parents, How to Support Your Child to Find Purpose. And I wrote that book. I've written that book with my son, my 11-year-old, who has just done his first decade project, putting together his experiences, his journey, his process towards, making baby steps towards purpose. So he has put down his account of how he's been supported in various areas of his life, right, in the first decade of his life. So, and he has done that in story manner. So he's done that with a lot of stories, hilarious stories, deep stories that your child will relate to, stories that could be similar, right, stories that could inspire, right, story that could inspire your child. Amazing work he's done there. And it's not work that he just thought of today and started doing. It's work that he has created from his journal. He has journaled over the years since he was 6. He's been journaling since he turned 6, and then it's from his journal. So call this his little diary that he's sharing with you, just because he wants to, share some of his experiences. Just in case somewhere out there, some child out there could be inspired by those experiences. Okay, and Mentor Parents, How to Support Your Child to Find Purpose is a compilation, or it's an account of a parent's journey to support their children. Okay, how to go about it, strategies that have been used, challenges that have been encountered, how they've stayed on and then gone through that journey. So take it this way, that you're going through our journey with us. Amazing books. And the pre-order we opened pre-order, even though we're going to do some official thing in a few days, but we opened pre-order. You can go ahead and pre-order that book already. It's 4,500 for the 2 books, two amazing books for just 4,500 naira. At the end of the pre-order season, it's going to be 6,000 naira, because it's worth more than that. All right, so thank you everyone. Welcome to this session. So today we're going to be here for not too long, right? Okay, it's been a very hectic 7 days, right? My voice is even cracked because I've been talking at the conference, and then I've been talking to a large crowd of children. I've had the most fun in the last 10 days, or 7 days rather. All right, so today we said we want to dissect purpose a little more. We've been talking purpose. How do we bring this whole walk towards purpose home? how do we bring it home so that it makes more sense? How do we bring it home so that we connect and we can start moving with it? Okay, if you've listened to me, you would have heard me say over and over again that purpose is a component of many things. The different things that makes up purpose, or there are different things that come together when you're talking about your purpose or your child's purpose. And since we're here, since we're looking at the child, or our focus is on the children, so we're going to be talking about the different components, different things that need to come together while you're trying to help your child navigate the world around them, while you're trying to get your child to put purpose at the back of his mind and begin to work towards that purpose. Okay, during the conference, I had a session with Kamsi Chima. Kamsi happens to be my son who wrote the book. Okay, and in one of at his session, I asked him the question: is it like he's always heard purpose? Is it like, right from when he was a baby, we started talking to him about purpose right at home? And he said no, he actually he actually encountered that word, as a subject when he was about 7. When I had the conversation with him, and asked him, what do you think is that one thing, or those things that you have an interest in? What are those things? Okay, if you're watching, please let us know you're watching by saying something in the comments. Please say hello in the comments. Just let us know where you're watching from, where you're joining us from. It's always good when who is with you. All right. So we asked him, what is it, that thing that you're interested in, that thing that you love, to do, and all of that. Okay, so that's the first time he heard. He actually heard, about purpose and all of that. I went on to say to him, you need to connect with that thing, whatever it is. I'm here. We are here to support you. We want to support you. And we want to support you based on what it is that you love, and what it is that you're interested in, and what it is you want to pursue. Okay, what is that you love to do? Let's just put it like that. Simple and short. What do you love to do? We want to help you do the things that you love to do. Okay? And so at that time, he came up and then he said to me, oh, I think I love science, like really, really very much. I really love science. I'm like, oh, great. So what do you think you can do with science? Okay, because it's one thing to love a thing. Okay, when you love a thing, it simply means that you will enjoy doing that thing. You're not compelled to do that thing. You always want to do that thing freely on your own without people pushing or compelling you to do it. So it becomes a goal. So it becomes a goal that you set on your own. It becomes a goal that you want to achieve on your own, and it becomes a goal that you love achieving, or a thing you love doing on your own. Okay, now that becomes one part of purpose. Okay, the other part is that you get to the point that you can freely impact other people with that thing. You can freely give back with that thing. You can make a difference in the world with that thing. So I said to him at the time, what is it that you love to do? What is it that you enjoy doing, and all of that? And then he said, oh, he loves science and all of that. And then he likes to talk to people and all of that. So I'm like, good. So how do you think you can use these things that you love to impact anyone, or do something that someone will be blessed by, and all that? And then he had to start brainstorming. He had to start thinking. Okay, and at the time, what he came up with at that time was, okay, perhaps I could teach my friends. Okay, I could teach my friends in school when they do not understand something in science, seeing that I understand it easily and it comes to me easily. And it became a plan. I was like, great, that's a plan. So you can do that. Okay, approach them, and then whoever you think has a challenge in that area, you can say to the person, oh, I am here and I'm willing to help you, and I'm willing to support you, and then go ahead and support the child. And from there, we looked for other ways, right? We look for other ways for him to get expression for this thing that he has said he has an interest in, or that he likes to do. So we helped him to get other expression in that area, and then helped him to start honing that skill. All right, so this is part of it. But today, what we'll be talking about, okay, so I'm going to do this as a series. It's going to be on for for some time. We're going to dissect purpose. We're going to take each part of this and we're going to look at it and see how we can kickstart, okay, how we can do something about it like right away, how we can engage in it and begin to do something about it right away. So what we'll be looking at today as part of what would determine your child's purpose, or part of what will be a component of your child's purpose, or what is needed, right, in taking steps towards purpose. One of the things that will be considered or that will come up, however you want to put it. Okay, so one very important thing that will come up, or one very important thing that you would have to look at, or you need to start working on, right, if you put purpose at the back of your mind. Because for you to help a child start taking baby steps towards purpose, you have to be intentional about it. That's the first thing. So you have to be intentional about it. It has to be that, you know something, I want to support this child to find purpose. I want to support this child to work towards purpose. Okay, so I am going to be alert. I'm going to be alert. I'm going to look out for what it is that this child loves. I'm going to look out for a number of things in this child. So that will become the basics, right? That will become the basis upon which you can support the child. Because you can only support someone when you have the ability to support them. You can only support the person when you know what the person needs, right? So for you to support your child, to start working towards purpose, for you to support your child to start working right towards wholesomeness, right? You need to know what it is that the child needs. Okay, so one very, very important thing is the child's view of the world, the child's world view. Okay, now when I say the child's worldview, what am I saying in retrospect? I am saying your worldview, because your worldview is going to be how your child views the world. How you view the world is going to be how your child views the world. When children come in, right? When we have children, right? When we have children, as they say, as the experts say, they come to us tabula rasa, like the child comes nothing really. The child knows nothing about the world. The child has no perception of the world, right? The child comes probably with a personality or a type of permanent, whatever God has put in there is there, but the child has got no knowledge of the world. So the view that the child will have of the world, or the knowledge that your child is going to have of the world, is completely dependent on you. And this is where the whole idea of purpose begins from. Okay, that's where the whole idea begins from. So when you get to the point when you are able to see yourself as someone that has come, or that was created, right, to come into this world and to leave the world a little better than you met it, then there is a view. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, there was a switch. Okay. All right, so when you're able to see yourself, all right, so when you're able to see, when you get to the point, right, when you get to the point where you begin to think this way, or you begin to see yourself this way, or when your child gets to the point, right, when your child gets to the point, or when you are able to not train your child, right, or train your child, let's use the word train. So when you're able to train your child, or you're able to bring your child to that point in the child's life where the child is able to see himself or herself as someone that was created for a reason, right? As someone that's created for a reason, and that reason for which that person is created, for which that child is created, is such that the child understands that he cannot go back. He cannot leave this world without making the world better in whatever little way. So that is a mandate. That is purpose. So if you are someone that thinks, right? If you're someone that thinks that if you have an ideology like I beg, am I the only one in this world at everything? I am not. How do people say it? There's so many ways that people, send these messages across, right? So if you happen to be one of those that feel that All that you're concerned about is your welfare. You are all about you, right? If you're all about you, and that's how you view the world, or that's how you view things, like it's everything is centered around me. So for everything that I do, if it does not benefit me, for everything that I do, if I do not put myself, I mean, if everything, if all the benefits will not fall on my feet, then I am not interested. So it means that that is your view of the world, right? That is your worldview. Okay, so if you're that person that you're only concerned about you and your immediate family, so the whole world can be shaking, the whole world can be in chaos, provided in your space, in your little home. I mean, you are fine and nothing is harming you or nothing is happening to you in your home. You are just fine. The rest of the world can go to hell. Then at that point, you know that that is your view of the world. That is your worldview. And now this is the worldview that your child is going to have. So basically, what we're saying is in your child's purpose, right? How you view the world and how you make your child view the world is very, very important. So in whatever you're doing, make sure that you understand this, that what you do, whatever it is you do, the things that you believe, the way that you carry on with your life, your child sees, your child hears, and that is going to affect, or that is going to constitute the way that your child also views the world. So if you are a parent that is concerned about your child being able to make baby steps towards purpose, if you're a parent that is concerned about pointing your child or guiding your child towards their purpose, if you're a parent that sees yourself as someone that needs to hold forth for your child before they come to that space of realization where they can take on their life and move on to their purpose on their own. Then at the back of your mind, you must have the fact that how you view the world, how you see the world, how you perceive the world, and how you build relationships and all that around you is how your child is going to see it. Now let's look at some areas of your lives, of our lives, really, actually, some areas of our lives that imprints, right, imprints on our children our view of the world. So number one of these is your beliefs. What do you believe? Okay, what are your beliefs? Your beliefs, it could be that you're a Christian, you could be a Muslim, you could be a traditionalist, you could be an atheist, you can be any of these things. So that becomes, that's your belief system, right? The what you believe, right? Your call it, some people call it spirituality, some will call it religion, right? Right. So whatever that belief is the first belief that your child is going to have. And so it's going to sorry. So it's going to, of course, imprint on how your child views the world and what your child believes in. Right. So if you're someone that believes in prayers, you believe that prayer works, you believe that there is a supreme being, okay, whatever that supreme being is to you, you believe that there is a God, and then there is a Son of God, that is Jesus Christ, he is the Savior, and all of that, right? If you're someone that believes that, okay, to a huge 99% of the time, that will be the belief that your child will nurture for the best part of their childhood. Okay, so if you're someone that believes that way, your child will tend to believe that way first. Okay, so if you're a Muslim and then you believe in God the Supreme, okay, what you call your God and how you reverence your God, that's how your child is going to see that. See your God. Okay, so the question you want to ask yourself is, so what God am I portraying for my child? Okay, or what God do I serve? right? Your child will serve his father's God. Your child will serve his mother's God. So basically, how you serve your God, how you serve your God is going to be how your child serves his God. And this, the ideology behind that religion, the principles behind that religion would actually imprint on your child, and that would affect what the child's purpose is, or how the child carries on living his purpose. So very important. The other one is your values. What are your values? The values that you carry, or the values that you hold yourself accountable by. Those values will imprint on your child. Those values will be the first values that your child will know. So as one of our speakers, Akugo said in her session, that when she was growing up, it wasn't like her mother ever had to gather them around the table and say to them, you know something, I want to talk to you today about hard work and how much it pays and blah, 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 blah. No, her mother never did that. What her mother did is her mother lived it. Her mother modeled it. Okay? So they could see from the life of their mother, okay, that hard work was a thing. So hard work was a thing from the camaraderie they saw between her and her colleagues, okay, from probably from the wins that she had and all of that, from the way she carried herself, from how seriously she took her job and all of that. So they could see that, okay. So of course, in that family or in her family, hard work was a thing, and it became a part of their value system, such that according to her, when you came home and you came in top, you come home and you come tops in your class, they celebrated you. But it wasn't as if you've done something that is out of this world, because it's a value. It's part of our value system. That is how we roll around here. Do you understand? So the values that you live by will become what your children would accept. It becomes what becomes acceptable to your children. So if you are that parent, right? If you are that couple that is consistently quarreling and yelling and shouting at each other, this is going to be normal before your children. If you are that father or that mother that is abusive, this is going to be normal to your child. So if you're that parent that is constantly yelling down at the children, constantly hitting the children and beating the children, okay, this is going to be acceptable to your child, and that is going to be the same way that your child will treat his younger siblings or his friends and classmates when they do anything wrong to him. Because when he does stuff wrong to you, this is how you address it. So invariably, this is how your child is going to address it when some other person tries to do the same thing to him. So basically, what is acceptable in your space? What do you live by? How do you hold yourself accountable? By what standards do you hold yourself accountable? These are going to be the same standards that your children will now accept. Okay. So I said to someone one time, we were talking about sorry, I'm not the coach, okay? I'm not the coach, or I'm not that person who would teach you, right? Or who would come here and spend hours, right, talking about the right discipline for your children. Okay, but I always like to say this: when you discipline your children, make sure that discipline does not pull you apart. It brings you closer, and make sure that discipline does not destroy your child's spirit, and make sure that your child is able to learn from that discipline. Okay, if you don't have these three components, then you may have to go back and rethink the discipline. But I said to somebody, okay, when you curse at your children, when you speak out negative words at your children just because you are angry, when you beat them mercilessly when you are angry, what you're saying to the child is, this is how people are treated when they do not behave right. This is how people are treated. This is what is acceptable when you do not do the right thing, or when you make somebody upset. Basically, when you make somebody upset or you don't do what the person likes, this is how you should be treated. So I'm treating you this way because you have just behaved badly, or because you have just done something that is not acceptable by me. So this is how I'm going to discipline you. So now what you're saying to that child in retrospect is, yes, so when you are out of this home, somewhere, in school, in a relationship, away from here, with your friends, anytime you do something that is not acceptable, it's okay. They would have to treat you this way. And even if they treat you this way, it is acceptable, because this is how people are treated when they act badly. So basically, this is probably going to be the reason why your daughter will go into a marriage or into a relationship and her boyfriend will beat her or her husband will abuse her physically, and she would accept it and she will stay there, and whatever it is, and at that point, you are all shouting, he's going to kill you, he's going to kill you. You can't be that and all that. No, she doesn't get it. It's double standard. You're living double standard because, hey, once upon a time, you taught me, you lived it, you showed me. When you don't act well, this is what they do to you, basically. So you need to be careful. So basically, what standards you live by as a parent, what standards you live by, what values you live by as a parent or as a family. This is what is going to instruct what your child's values would be. And this, of course, is going to be, this is going to be a component, it's going to be a part of your child's value system, and it's going to be a part of your child, it's going to play a part or a role in your child's purpose. Okay, so that's another part that you want to look at. Then another one is ideology. What are your ideology? What are the things that you accept? Okay, call it, what is your mindset towards various things? Okay, so are you that person that is constantly, every time there is a challenge, every time that you're not getting what you want, you begin to talk, oh, it's spiritual attack, is this attack, is that attack, is this one? Are you the one that is constantly afraid? This person wants to kill me, that person wants to kill me. Are you the person that is constantly projecting fear? Okay, now some of these things that some of these, what do they call them now? Some of these beliefs, okay, mob mentality that we have, some of these funny beliefs that we have here and there, okay, funny beliefs that we have here and there, okay, if you have this belief, you will voice them in front of your children, and this would instruct the things, how your children think, and the idea that your children have about things. Okay, so sometimes you listen to people, okay, and they say certain things and you're like, oh my word, in this 21st century, people still think like this. Now, when you think that way, that becomes the way that your child thinks. Okay, that becomes the way that your child thinks. So every time your child is not feeling well and all of that, rather than I know I'm just trying to give examples that we can understand and all of that. Every time your child is feeling unwell, it is someone that is trying to kill. There are all these funny things. So a lot of times what we do is we project our fears in our children. We project our fears in our children. We're constantly afraid that something will happen. I understand the situation. Sorry. I understand the what do you call it, the security situation around the country, especially if you're from this part of the world, if you're in Nigeria as I am. Okay, so I understand the security concerns right now and all of that, but we don't want to constantly project fear in our children. Who do you believe in? What God do you believe in? What does the word of God say to you? So you want to empower your children, right? You want to empower your children. You want to teach your children how to affirm themselves. You want to teach them to make affirmations and declarations, right, while you're being careful. But more than anything, we want to be careful that we're not projecting too much fear on our children. We're not making them feel that everybody in our village is a witch. We're not making them feel that the neighbors are going to kill them. You're not making them feel, there's so much, this is one. The fear is one. There are many other things. Okay, so when you carry, when you think in this way, when you're constantly thinking in this way, you're going to sell this mindset to your children. You're going to make your children be people who think this way. So if you think like a mediocre, okay, if you are, you're constantly selling mediocrity to your children will grow up to be mediocres. So what are you selling to your children? Are your thoughts, are your thoughts always positive. Okay, when you talk to your children, are you talking to your children based on facts, or are you always speculating and speculating? Are you that person that is always making all your decisions based on your dream? You sleep and you wake up, oh, I saw this neighbor and she was not greeting me in my dream, so you will not greet them in reality, and then you inform your children, and somehow from the way you're acting, they begin to think and they begin to act that way. How do you, I mean, are the things that you do based on fact, or are they just based on your opinion, and then you sell this opinion to your children? Basically, what are your ideology? What is your ideology about the things around you? What's your mindset? I mean, basically all of that. So you want to put that into consideration, because this will become how your child thinks and how your child sees things. So when my kids come to me and they say to me, Mom, this person said this, I always ask them. So they come to school and they say something. Okay, maybe there's something that is appropriate, or whatever, that is trending, right? There's something that is appropriate, that is trending, or something comes up, and then they say to me, oh, my classmate says and said this. What I always ask to the children is, so what did you say? Okay, your classmate said this. You, what did you say? So it's very important what you say. Okay, my classmate said this happened. Really? So you, what do you think? So I am always encouraging the children to do research. So make sure that your children are not talking from a place of hype, or from a place of gist, or from a place of, I mean, what other people say. Always ensure that your children are talking from a place of fact. They're talking from a place of fact. Teach them how to sieve between facts and hype. Teach them how to go back and do researches on them on their own. So I say to the children, do not ever take what another person has said to you and say it to a third party without knowing the facts. So do not come and tell me what your friend said until you have an opinion based on facts. So you can say to me, oh, Mom, Agnes said this. But I found that this. Or Agnes said this. And I found that it is true. It is actually this. So you want to do that, especially if you come from a part of the world like this, where people throw all kinds of mentality around. People throw all kinds of mentality around, and most of the times it's fake. Most of the times it's wrong. The information is wrong. And what we do, we keep passing this information from one person to the other. And before you know it, everybody is believing a particular thing that is not right. So you want to teach your children how to seek and find facts, because yes, eventually how your children, I mean, their mindset, their ideology, how they see these things is going to affect their purpose. It's going to be a part of their purpose. Okay, so yes, very important. Your child's worldview is a component of your child's purpose. So in making baby steps towards purpose, you would have to look critically, or you have to look intentionally at the idea, I mean, at how your child views the world, right? And what's your child how he views the world, how he thinks about the world. So you want to pay attention to that, and you want to make sure that at all times you are informing your child, or you are living out how you want your child to see the world, or how you want your child to perceive the world. Very, very important. Okay, so I've talked about your values, I've talked about your beliefs, I've talked about your ideology. Okay, so I've talked about your ideology. So the next thing I'm going to do, because we'll be out of here in a few minutes, okay, the new we're going to try and keep our hangout sessions, we're going to try and keep them, not too long anymore, so that we can come here, do what we have to do, and get it over and done with. Okay, now, so how do you do this? Because all these are still sounding like theory. How can I do this? How can I bring this home? Okay, how can I bring this home, and how can I begin to use it right away, since I am ready to help or to start supporting my child to make baby steps towards their purpose, right? I said during the conference, after this conference, if you walk away after the conference and you do not start something, if you walk away and you have not taken what you have put in your toolbox and run with it, then the conference would have been a waste. Okay, so after attending conferences like the one we just had, what you want to do is you want to take the lessons from that conference, you want to add it straight up into your toolbox, and you want to look for strategies to start using immediately to apply these things that you have learned. All right, so one of the ways that you're going to be doing this, okay, before I go into one of the ways that we're going to be doing this, so we have a course, okay, we have a course in the academy next month. It is Head Start, right? So that course is actually Head Start towards baby step or towards purpose. Okay, so how you can start that journey, or how you can help your child begin to take steps, or how you can put the things that you need right now, okay, the things that you need right now in place to make your child's purpose easier for them when they take charge of their lives. So there are certain things that as parents we have to start doing right now. So it's like cleaning up the house, cleaning up the room, and putting things in place, right? So that your child has the right habits, the right skills, okay, the right habits, the right skills, the right mindset, all of these in place, so that when they come to the realization of purpose, it is easier for them because you have worked on the things that are necessary to make that journey easy for them. So it's going to be a 5-day course. Okay, in that course, we will look at all these different areas. Okay, so we have 6 areas that we need to look into, 6 areas that we need to look into that form the component or form the things that constitutes, okay, your child's purpose or your purpose. So in this course, we'll look at these 6 areas, and we'll break the things that you need to do with your children in these 6 areas. We will break them down so that you can go ahead and create a plan, and you begin to work with your children in these areas, one step after the other. So that course is going to happen in the month of June, right? The course is going to happen in the month of June. We will open pre-order for that course by next week, okay? Registration for that course by next week, so you can register for that course and be a part of the course. By the time you finish that course, you will have the tool, you will have everything that you need, right, to start your journey immediately, to start to start building the blocks, and you can use this with your children, even if your children are 2. You can use this with them even if they are 2, even if they are 10, 8, 10, 12, 15. You can use this with your children of any age. It's just for each of these areas what you have to start doing now. So this is what you would do, and this is what you would do, and this is what you would do. So that's what that course is going to be about. Amazing, amazing course. You will not want to miss that course. All right, so basically, in this area, we just talked about your child's worldview. Okay, now what do you do, right, to give your child a good, to present your worldview? Okay, your worldview, I can't even tell you what that is. That is up to you. How you view the world is up to you, isn't it? How you view the world is up to you. Your ideologies, your ideology, your mindset, your beliefs, your values, all that is up to you. It's probably different from mine or totally different from mine, but you need to know that whatever it is for you, that is what your children are going to learn firsthand, because you're the one with them. So if you are if your children are with your let's say your children are with your spouse more and you're not there, then you need to know, okay, you need to be aware of what this spouse or what this partner's view about in these different areas are, because very, very important to note, this is what your children will learn and this is what your children will know. So you want to know how your spouse thinks or in this various area, and want to be sure that you agree on the same thing in this area, or that you are able to come to a meeting point as to how you want to present these different areas to your children. Because however you do it, your children are going to learn firsthand from you. about this. Some of them at some point in their lives will sway away, okay, but to a large majority they are going to keep it, especially if you are deliberate about teaching them these things. And we know how it is, how bad things stick easier. Okay, the bad ones will stick easier even without you making an effort. So if you have the good things that you will want your children to learn, okay, about your beliefs, okay, about your values and all of that, your ideology, your mindset, and all of that, then you want to deliberately, you want to intentionally teach this to your children. Okay, so how do you do this? You do this by living it. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you wake up, you think about it intentionally. What belief do I want to teach my children? What values do I want to teach my children? What do I want to pass on to my children? Okay, what ideology or what ideology do I want to sell to my children? What mindset do I want them to have about this and about that and about this and about that and all of that? So think about it intentionally and live it. Be a model, be indeed a mentor parent to your children. So when you live it every day, okay, when it becomes a lifestyle, your children will only look at your lifestyle and the children will imbibe or they will learn from you firsthand. Okay? Another thing you want to do is you want to talk to them about it from time to time. So in your conversations, you want to talk to your child about your values. You want to talk to your child. You want to have conversations with your child about these things. Now, in having conversations about these things with your children, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sit down and say to them, "Sit down, I want to tell you about my beliefs and all of that." Okay, you have conversations from time to time. Okay, you could be having a ride, you could go for a walk, it could be when you're in the kitchen cooking, it could be during your family time, it could be, always pick a relaxed time when you want to, when you want to have meaningful conversations with your children. Okay, so you want to make your conversations with your children light and relaxing. Okay, always light and relaxing. So make the most meaningful conversations with your children in the most relaxed manner. You don't want to create tension around things like this because these are things that you want them to keep for a lifetime. Okay, so you want to bring it down to them in a subtle way such that they learn to love and not rebel, okay, about these things. So great. So you want to have those conversations and you want to start with trying to understand what they know. So that will give you an idea of what your children have been able to pick on their own from you perhaps, or from someone that is influencing them if you are not present enough to influence them. So you want to start conversations like that by asking them, like, really seriously, come on, let's talk about it. If I were to ask you, what do you what do you really think about God and all that? Have those kind of conversations, okay? Or say to them about, someone, I like to use this kind of flip part of conversation. Like, oh, it was today or something with a colleague, and he actually told me how he just woke up and realized that his child didn't believe in the same thing that he believed. And your child will be like, oh, really? Okay. And then you say to him, oh, he found that the child actually thinks this, or the child actually has a problem with the story that the parents have told him about God. And the child was asking him certain questions and all of that. At that point, if your child thinks differently too, or if your child has had certain thoughts too, or your child is struggling with a thought, what you have done is you have invited your child to speak to you freely because you're talking to him about these things. Okay, so for instance, you have a child who doesn't like to go with you to your place of worship. Okay, then you have your teenager who all of a sudden doesn't want to go with you to your place of worship. It has become a struggle. You're always struggling and getting angry and all of that just because the child doesn't want to go with you all of a sudden. So you don't want to fight about these things. You don't want to turn it into some sort of a world war. You want to get into the mind of your child and find out what is going on there. Okay, because you could have missed something that is going on in the mind of your child because you were not present, or you just missed it, you were not paying enough attention, or whatever. So this gives you an opportunity to get into the mind of your child and know what's going on there. So you can start on a light note with gist like this, okay, with conversations like this, and then it will make your child open up to you and say to you, oh, I feel this way, I heard this, and all that. Then at that point, okay, you're able to listen to them, respect their view, and then go plan the best strategy, to help the child, or the best strategy to see if you can come back and convince the child, or make the child see what you see or what you know. Okay, and you can leave things in the board at this point if if you get to know about it without without a tussle, or without making it a big deal per se. It's a big deal, but you don't want to make it fight at that point, because hey, with your teenagers, when it becomes a power struggle, the chances that you will convince them are less possible. All right, or they're less. All right, so you want to do that. The next thing you want to do is you want to give your children opportunities to practice. So you want to give your children opportunity to practice. So let's say you're talking about your beliefs. You want to put your children in groups. Okay, you want to put them, you want to allow them socialize, okay, in groups, in religious groups, groups that they share your religious views, okay, or your beliefs and all of that. So you want to enroll them into a youth program, perhaps in your church, or youth program, that has that the mission or the vision of it aligns with your vision, right? You want to introduce them to this kind of youth group. You want to introduce them to mentors. You want to create opportunities for your children to hear this thing away from home. You want to create opportunity for them to hear it from other places, other sources that you trust besides you. Okay, so you want to create a bigger, okay, you want to create a bigger reach for them. Okay, how is it? You want to create a bigger reach for them. You want to create a bigger circle of influence for your children, a wider circle of influence for your children, by enrolling them in things that you can trust, or places that you can trust. Okay, it can be helpful, all right, for you to reinforce and allow your children to grow in that faith, in that value of it, to continue to practice. As they continue to practice, they will begin to find things out for themselves. Okay, this becomes what they hear, what they listen to over and over again, and then it will begin to take roots in their lives. So you want to do that. Another thing, you want to trust your child at some point. So you have trained, you have had conversations, right? You've had conversation, you have had conversations that have allowed you, enter the mind of your child, the head of your child, and you can see and know what your child feels about these things. You already feel what they feel, or they know about these things. You have made the effort to enroll them into groups, okay, into groups and into social groups where this is further reinforced in their lives. You've made that effort. Okay, in some cases, you've even introduced them to mentors. Okay, you've allowed them, people to mentor them in their lives and all of that. So, but without forcing them, you have helped them to build stamina or practice around these areas of their lives and all that. So after that, you don't want to hound them. You want to step back and you want to trust them to do the right thing with all that they know and with all that they've learned. You want to show your children that I trust you, I believe you. You don't want to constantly tell your children you are lying, you are lying, you are lying. No, you want to show them, you want to tell them that you trust them. You want to make them understand and know that I trust you. When you do that, it builds their confidence. It helps them know that you have placed some responsibility on them, and they know that, okay, they cannot fail you because you trust them. Okay, that's the other thing that you want to do. And then you want to allow them show themselves. You want to allow them make informed decisions around this things or around this area. So you want to give them access, and then after that, you give them the free hand to make decisions, and then make them know that I trust you. I trust your decisions. Now, why are you doing this? You want to do this because you want, while your children are with you, you want your children to make decisions while they are with you, so that you can see the outcomes while they are with you, and then you can teach and you can nip things in the bud, and then you can help them make better choices, right, by helping them go through the negative or the bad choices that they've made. But if you don't give them chance or opportunities to make choices while they are with you, if you continue to make the choices for them, if you continue to hand down the choices to them, what happens is your children do not gain stamina on their own. Your children do not learn how to make choices on their own. And so you do not get to watch them, or you do not see them make those choices on their own. So what happens is when you leave them, when you send them off to school or you send them away, you are constantly afraid, and you're constantly thinking about it in your head. Are they okay? Are they doing the right thing? Because while they are with you, you made all the decisions and you never allowed them try. So you cannot even rest because you're not sure of what it is that they are doing. After all, when they were with you, you couldn't trust that they could do the right thing. Is it when they're away from you that you would trust that they could do the right thing or they can do the right thing? So you see, basically how we set our children up for failure if we're not allowing them try before us. So yes, you want to do all this, okay? So you want to make sure that you give your children a good worldview by by living, by living an example of the, let them learn their worldview through you. What do you believe in? What are your values? What is your mindset around about things? What are your ideologies? Basically, okay? So when you leave this, your children will pick it from you, and this will frame their own values, their own mindsets, and how they view things generally. And then how do you do this? You see, okay, so how do we do this? We say you do it by embodying it, meaning you're a model. You do this by talking to your children about it, not hounding your children about it. You talk to them about it. You hear their perspective every time you're talking to your children. Hear their perspective first before you can build on it. Hear their perspective first before you can begin to tweak it. Hear their perspective first before you can change, what they think, or basically but you want to know, because when you don't know what they think and you come and mount, whatever you're putting is going to be mounting on something that they have there that you have not tried to correct, you've not tried to help them see differently. So you want to start by always knowing what your children feel. So at every point I'm talking to my children, I always ask them, oh, what do you think about this thing? Or what do you know about this thing? Okay, I always want to do that, whether it's directly I'm asking them or by creating examples or experiences that will give me an idea of what they think or what they know about that thing. Okay, then we said you allow them practice, 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 okay, so that they can internalize it and it becomes a part of them. And then lastly, you give them allowance, you allow them to do it, you trust them and allow them to do it. That is the only way you will know, okay, or that's the only way you will see. Allow them make decisions, allow them do things that you will know what their mindset is. You will know what values they apply when they make decisions that they make. In fact, you will know what their values are, if they carry the same value that you have taught them as a family, or if they do not even believe in your values. Okay, then of course you will know if your children share your God, or if your children really know your God for themselves, or if you're just dragging them all around the place, and the moment they are not with you, they cannot even serve your God the way you serve your God. All right, people. So that is it for today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all those who made time to join. And for those who will be catching the replay, let us know that you are catching the replay and where you joined us from. All right. So mentor parents, how to support your child to find purpose is open for pre-order. You can just click on the link. Okay, in this post and order your copy for 4,500 naira for both mentor parents, how to support your child to find purpose, and baby step towards purpose, the journey of a child on a mission. These two books together, 4,500 naira pre-order. After the pre-order season, it's going to be 6,000 naira, and it's a book that cannot be missing in your library if you're a parent. All right, and then we'll be launching our course, the Head Start towards purpose, right? And then that course is going to be launched in the next couple of days, and it's going to happen in the month of June. So you can hurry and register for it. We'll be making announcements for my everyday parenting journey. It's coming back. Conference is over. So my everyday parenting journey, our June edition, is going to be out in a bit also. So get ready. That's what we do. We go on a journey with our parents. Okay, we go on a journey of almost a month or about a month, close to a month. Okay, holding your hand through one aspect of parenting every day for that period. All right, thank you very much, everyone who joined us and everyone who will be catching the replay. Okay, I hope you got value today. Let us know in the comments if you got value today. Thank you for all those who have contributed in our campaign, our Children's Day campaign, where we're taking 300 bedtime stories for champion to children from low-income families. We're also taking some goodies to celebrate with them and make them feel special on Valentine's on Children's Day. So we've done that with two big schools, and the experience was great. So we're going to continue tomorrow, next tomorrow, but we'll be going to orphanages, as in to go and share this amazing resource and then to celebrate with them. We'll go with snacks, we'll go with drinks, and we'll go with gifts for them. So if you still want to support this campaign, you can just click the link and then make a donation. Okay, and if you have old clothes and you live in Abuja, you would want us to take to the orphanage, we'll be glad to do that for you. All you need to do is dispatch it to our location and then we'll be taking from there. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you again. Thank you for all those who were part of the conference. Okay, have a lovely, lovely evening. Bye.